like lions, tigers, crocodiles, kings, robbers, thieves, reapers, and so forth. So you see, this means like those are in danger their life. Even some, animals who are in danger their life from like predators like tiger, lions, protecting their life is giving life. Or some are like giving punishment, putting the prison. So protecting from this is giving fearlessness. Some thief comes and steals your wealth that time, and protecting from this is giving fearlessness. As I mentioned, someone is drawn in the water and helping from that. Then it's very famous, One time Buddha, as a bodhisattva, when he saw a mother tiger with her 4 or 5 cubs, haven't had food for many days, and then she's now almost going to die. The cubs have no food or no milk they can drink, so they all are going to die. The great that bodhisattva, when one day he was walking with his brothers in the forest under a cave, he saw this. So then he asked his brothers what they eat to survive. So they discussed the tigers, the mother tiger, and the cubs are going to die, so forth. And then he asked what they eat. They said they eat flesh. So then they went back down, and the Bodhisattva was thinking, for countless lifetimes I have been born in the world, and my body has not been useful. So now this is the time. I must use this. So he told his brothers, please go ahead, and I need to do something and come back. So he went there and lay down in front of the mother tiger and the cubs. So then the mother got something to eat, and then he gave his body. And so that time this is giving wealth as well as giving fearlessness. He gave their life, free from the fear of their death. So those, as mentioned, those great bodhisattvas who are above 8 or 9 bhumis, who are highly accomplished there. So that bodhisattva made such great dedication. This time, I protect you from the death, giving my body. Now he said, through this practice, no doubt, one day I will achieve Buddhahood. That time, may I give you the wisdom and protect you from the samsara. Bodhisattva dedicated that. That's what, when Buddha achieved enlightenment, the 5 disciples of Buddha was the rebirth of those, the mother tiger, the cubs, So like that, you see. So giving is, giving body is not easy, of course, But great bodhisattvas who practice that, develop such a great courage. Courage on the base of compassion and wisdom, realization of the emptiness. When you realize everything as everything as the nature of the emptiness, then all is just a manifestation. Then you see as just illusion. That's what's called illusion, where we're giving a lot of examples. Like a dream, like a bubble, like a cloud, no? Like a phantom. No? So when you realize this is the power of the mind, you see. When we are not in that position, we cannot comprehend. It's beyond our comprehension. But when you realize that, come to that point, then everything's just a manifestation. That's the Dharma practice, how it brings the, basically as mentioned, way to bring great peace, you see. Just called peace out of fearlessness. So there's an ultimate way to achieve the fearlessness. That's the power of the mind. So here you see, Gampopa made such a clear distinction. You know, if we, right now, of course, we cannot practice as it is mentioned, but you can expect what to practice, how to follow. And then according to this, step by step, slowly progress. You just imagine the power of the mind. No. So that's fearlessness. This completes giving fearlessness. It's very short. Now for the giving Dharma, 4 topics describe the practice of giving Dharma. The recipient, the motivation, the actual Dharma, and the method of showing the Dharma teachings. The one recipient, giving Dharma to those who want Dharma. So those who respect for Dharma and the Dharma teachers. See, so just clear, very, very clear, you see. That's why I say now here, usually we advertise just what is going to give teachings. Those interested, they come. Those who are not interested, that's fine. No? So recipients, that they have interest in the Dharma to study, practice. No? It's very important. And then motivation, avoid evil thoughts and maintain gentle thought, means bodhicitta, gentle bodhicitta thoughts. Furthermore, avoid evil thoughts means that you should give Dharma teachings without concentration for wealth, honor, praise, fame, and so forth. Not to collect wealth, not to earn respect, not expecting how you become a famous. Just give sincerely. So that's, you see. Other worldly activities, you see, there are 8 worldly activities, not for those purpose. No. The Contents Perfection of Wisdom Sutra says, give teachings fully to the sentient beings without material concentration. No. How much offering I get. No. So that there's a responsibility for the teacher who give the teaching, and there's a responsibility teacher, the students, with the recipients. The Kashyap's requested sutra says, giving Dharma teachings with a pure mind without material considerations is highly praised by all the victorious ones, without any expectation. Just the mind of the bodhicitta to achieve complete Buddhahood, to benefit sentient beings. So with that mind give, then all the Buddhas are praised. Even you don't want praising, you are praised anywhere. Because then there's no side effect, no problems, Maintaining gentle thought means knowing Dharma motivated by compassion. See? Showing Dharma motivated by compassion. The condensed perfection of Wisdom Sutra says, give Dharma to the world in order to eliminate suffering. See, you just give Dharma teachings to free from suffering. Looking there in the world, how much suffering is there. And your compassion is so powerful. You feel unbearable. Their suffering. To uplift from the suffering, you give Dharma teachings. So now, the third, actual Dharma. Show the Dharma sutras and so forth without mistake or provision. It's very important. You should keep the Dharma teachings without mistake. Because, like me, for example, here, I'm an enlightened person. How I know? If I create something from my mind, it's a pure Dharma teaching. But if I depend on like this book, JOL Ornament of Liberation, it's unmistaken. So rely on the Buddha's word. Rely on the enlightened being's teaching. Not making up something. Is interested or not interested, it depends, entirely depends on the recipients. It's their choice. Sometimes we make something interesting for others, and we make Dharma something mixed with some other things, and that's misleading. Even there's only one person, that's enough. If she or he is interested. So this is very important. Because we don't want to water down the teachings. Nowadays, not so much. When in the 70s, 80s, they come, especially in the 80s, so there's a lot of, Tibetan Buddhism. So we should have American Buddhism. Some kind of, so something like change. That time I usually say, there's a lot of cultural aspects, but the Dharma teaching itself is nothing to do with any culture. Like Four Noble Truths, example. Suffering. We all share the same kind of suffering, like aging, sickness, death. We don't get what we want, we get what we don't want. We all share the same everywhere you go, all over the world. Regardless of what kind of religion we practice, regardless of what culture we have, or non-believers, educated, uneducated, you see. Now you see, like making thrones, all the silks, ornaments, those are cultural aspect. That's not Dharma. See. So Dharma fits everywhere, any other country, if they're interested. The culture, there's different cultures. So it fits, it doesn't fit. But sometimes we bring culture with the Dharma, But Dharma is related to your mind. everybody in the world, as we discussed, have the potential of the compassion, loving kindness, wisdom. Everyone has a potential wisdom to free from suffering, samsara. So that's what in Dharma. So that's what without mistake or provision, there's an interpretation. Sometimes there's a different interpretation. So there's some interpreted wrong in the wrong direction. So there's a definitive kind of way of teachings. There's an interpretation way of teachings. The Bodhisattva Bhumi says, in giving the Dharma, the meaning should be shown without mistake. It should be shown logically, empirically, based on reason. And dispels it, and the disciple should allow to practice perfectly the basis of the training, Not just intellectual, also ask to practice. Because the basic reason to free from suffering is practice. Once you understood, that doesn't mean you are free from suffering. When you understood, that doesn't mean you solved all the problems. Now, to get rid of the cause of the suffering, you have to practice. That's the Dharma, you see. Just few lines, you see, how profound it has. You look at it, you see. It's amazing, logically, you see. And the reason you have, I have a headache. Maybe I don't know exactly what the cause is. There's a cause. There's reason to get a headache. Everything what is happening, there's a reason. There's no, what do you call sometimes without cause, what do you call that? Accident? Or what call?
Coincidence?
Coincident? No.
Random.
Randomly, coincidentally, I made something, But there's always reason. Okay, now fourth, method of showing Dharma teachings. So you should not give teachings immediately when someone asks you. The king of meditative absorption means the Samadhi Raja Sutra. Buddha says, concerning the generosity of giving the Dharma, if someone requests it, first you should respond this way: I have not studied that in details. Or you should say, I did study some, but now I have forgotten. Then if the student is really desperate, will request, please give me whatever you have, Request one after another. If they're not so interested, first I ask. Then he said, he said he doesn't know. Then we leave. If one's really desperate, you'll go, like a doctor, If you're really sick, the doctor says, I don't know so much. They say, please help me, whatever you know, That kind of see. And also, do not relate it immediately, means don't talk Dharma immediately. You should start by examining the vessel. Once you know the vessel well, then you should give teachings even without a request. If you know the practitioners, very sincere, really want to free from samsara, honest. Then, even they not request, you just give the teachings. So this you should practice. The house, beautiful this is, you see. When one give a teaching, say it should be at a clean and pleasing place. The white lotus of Sublime Dharma Sutra says, in a clean and pleasant place, build a wide, comfortable throne. See, the teacher should sit on a throne and give teachings. It is said, sit on a supported seat decorated with the various silks. The teacher should give Dharma teachings when clean, well dressed, neat, and with gentle behaviors. The teacher should also, so all the audience to have a feeling of comfortable, relaxing, not strange behavior, making noise, disrupting, not that. Everyone should kind of well dressed, well clean. The Sagaramati means the ocean of wisdom, the ocean of discriminating wisdom. Requested Sutra says, the teacher of the Dharma should be clean, have gentle behavior, be neat and well dressed. Thus, with all the disciples gathered, the teachers sit on the throne in order to forestall obstacles. Or to get rid of all the obstacles, he should recite the mantra which overcomes the power of Maras. The Sagaramati Requested Sutra says that Shame Vati Shamita Satru Mam Kure Mara Zite Karota Yesukagade Sure Tenzo Vati Oloyani Vishuddha Nirmale Mala Panyaya Kuru Gugure Kaga Grase Garasana O Muke Bonamuke Muke Samitwa Ni Sarwa Graham Bandana Nikri Hitwa Sarwa Pra Wadi now Bimukta Maram Pasa Sata Vitva Buddha Mudra Anunka Tata Sarva Mare Putsa Rita Presute Vigat Samtu Sarva Mara Karmanis. Maybe the translation is there, so I don't know this. It's all Sanskrit mantra, like 100 syllable mantra. So Sagaramati, when these syllables are recited at the beginning and then the Dharma teachings are given for 100 yojanam, like 100 miles around, none of Maras can come to create obstacles. Those who can come cannot create obstacles. Then when the Dharma teachings are given, they should be related to the subject at hand and be clear and moderate. Said, explanation Dharma should be very clear and not too much, not too little, but just to understand. So these complete Dharma teachings, Now increase the fifth one. Even though these three generosities: the generosity practice of wealth, giving fearlessness, and Dharma teachings. Says, maybe small, there is a method to increase them. The Bodhisattva's basket mentions. Shariputra, a wise Bodhisattva can increase even a small gift. He or she can increase it through the power of primordial wisdom. One, say, through the power to increase, can expand it. This is increase. I think he can increase. Okay. He can expand it through the power of discriminating wisdom, and he can make it infinite through the power of dedication. 3. First, increasing generosity. Increasing becomes superior. Basically, I think, superior. It's more like becoming superior, sublime. No? Through the power of the primordial wisdom, through the power of primordial wisdom comes from the full realization, means full realization of emptiness, Mahamudra like. That is free from three spheres, three spheres. This is the realization that giver is like an illusion. What this means, three spheres, the realization, this is the realization that the giver is like an illusion, just illusion. Illusion means what? Not exist, isn't it? Not exist. It seems like, but not exist. Like a mirage, there's mirage, illusion. Giver is like illusion. The gift is also like an illusion. And the recipient is like an illusion. So all three are like an illusion, not exist. In its reality nature, it's called the free from three spheres. This makes the practice of the generosity is a superior or sublime. Means go above the samsara. It's beyond the samsara. So it's translation maybe needed progress better. Instead of increasing, maybe superior or sublime, something like that. The second, in order for one to receive a great amount, that's more like an increasing amount of merit from the generosities. Understand that they are increased by increased by the power of wisdom awareness. In any kind of generosity practice, whether it is wealth, fearlessness, Dharma teachings. If first do it with the intention of giving things in order to establish all sentient beings in the state of the enlightenment, so make that motivation. Cultivate bodhicitta. I will do this to attain complete Buddhahood. No. For all the sentient beings, giving this in order to establish all sentient beings in the state of the enlightenment. Then in the middle means actual practice, without attachment for the gift. Whatever you're giving, no attachment. Give freely, joyfully, no reservation. And at the end, free from expectation in a result. Don't expect. Praise, offerings, just give, dedicate. That's what that will increase the practice of generosity. you will receive the great merit of generosity. See, the condensed profession of wisdom sutra says, one should remain without attachment to the gift. Also, one should not expect a result. Therefore, if one gives everything with a great skill, this skill means based on wisdom and compassion. See? There will be infinite virtue, even if one's gift is small. If you give just small amount, like one piece of biscuit to a dog, a cat, if you give with this motivation, that will increase infinite. Because your mind is related to all the sentient beings. Because your mind is related to the enlightenment. That's why it becomes infinite. See? Third, so make generosity infinite through the power of the dedication. That means increases infinitely if one dedicates this generosity practice to the unsurpassable enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. Then you dedicate by the power of this, my practice of generosity. Whatever merit I gathered, may this become a cause to achieve complete enlightenment for all sentient beings. That will become infinite. See? The Buddhist Bhumi says, one should not practice generosity by looking at the result. What kind of result I'll get? Maybe I'll become rich, I may become a wealthy, So all the generosity practice should be dedicated to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment. See? Dedication not only increases generosity, but also causes to become inexhaustible. See, Akashamati's requested sutra says, Shariputra, for example, a drop of water dropped in the ocean, that water will not be exhausted until the end of the kalpa, because the ocean will stay. Likewise, when one dedicates the root of virtue, any virtue to enlightenment, it will not be exhausted between now and when one achieves the heart of enlightenment. Heart of enlightenment is complete enlightenment, because you have dedicated the virtue to achieve Buddhahood. So it will not wasted in between. So this will give us, how to practice the generosity. Any amount you have. And our mind will be so free from all this boundary. Because you give freely. Once you give, doesn't matter whether they use good or not good way. You give. Perfection. Concerning the perfect purification of generosity, the collection of transcendent instructions says, Buddha says, if one acts with emptiness and the essence of compassion, all the merit will be purified. Means it will not be defiled by afflictions. So when these generosity practices are supported by emptiness, they will not become a cause of samsara, because it's sealed by the wisdom. It's realization of the emptiness, your experience of the emptiness beyond samsara. So it's not become a cause of samsara. When they are supported by compassion, they will not become a cause of lesser vehicle like sharavaka. Because with compassion, you practice this for the benefit of all sentient beings. They will become a cause only for the achievement of non-abiding nirvana, neither samsara nor partial nirvana. Therefore, they are pure. That's what it's called, pure. So unafflicted. Supported by emptiness means, according to the Ratna Kuda Sutra, Sutra says that the practice of generosity should be stemmed by the 4 seals of emptiness. It is said this way: one should practice generosity with 4 seals. So what are these 4 seals? One should be sealed by the pervading emptiness of the inner bodies. My body is nature of emptiness. Our body is composed of many factors. 2 hands, 2 legs, heads, eyes, ears, nose, all the components come together as called body. In reality, it's just illusion. So see that nature. Now that is just intellectual way of understanding emptiness. Then in the mind you experience that nature is emptiness. There's nothing to attach to, grasping. So that's inner body, see, emptiness of the inner body. Sealed by the emptiness of the outer wealth itself. If you give like this, I give this bell. Now bell on the top, body, bottom, it's all coming together. It's a bell. There's just emptiness. Collection of a lot of dust particle. So it's illusory nature. See? Hence it said, of the inner body sealed by the completion, emptiness of the outer wealth, sealed by the emptiness of the subjective mind. The mind says, I give. That mind, where's the mind? Outside, inside, where inside? In the brain, in the heart, where which organ? Just illusory nature. Neither exists nor none exists. It's very complicated, isn't it? And sealed by the stem of the Dharma of the enlightenment. Enlightenment as well is nature of emptiness. This is not saying nothing exists. If you say nothing exists, it's called a primitive of understanding of emptiness. This is where how kind of naturally how it abides. When we have our minds grasping phenomena, then when we say emptiness is something, we have something not exist. So this duality. So this here emptiness is in between. Neither exists nor none exists. See. So that's why our unenlightened mind is difficult to comprehend the enlightened nature. So that's why we study, we practice step by step. Then we can get a glimpse of that taste. One should practice seal with these four. So if we practice with these four, dedicate, then we'll transcend to samsara. Achieve the transcendent wisdom beyond the samsara. So generosity supported by generosity practice supported by compassion means giving because you cannot bear the suffering of sentient beings individually or in general, you see. That's as we did before. Out of great compassion, to look at the suffering of sentient beings. If we carefully look at, it's unbearable. There's so much suffering and never ending, you see. That's the very difficult point. If there's something to end, then you say, okay, that moment is that they have such a kind of terrible suffering. But after 1 year or 2 years, then they'll be free from their suffering. But they never, until they're free from samsara. So that Bodhisattva is that kind of, compassion, which is based or supported by the wisdom. Seeing the nature of all samsara through wisdom and the suffering they are going through, the compassion give rise unbearable. So for that purpose, you are practicing generosity and you are dedicating. See? So that makes some sense, isn't it? See how precious this is. Individual or in general, every sentient beings. The result now, so those two, first see, please, here you get very good understanding. The increase and the perfection, those two subjects. These two you study and get good understanding, of course all, especially because these two will not repeat next for perfection. The morality and the patience, perseverance, and samadhi will not repeat. Will say it's as described before. So if we don't have a good understanding now, then it will become a blank when you come to that point. And in other study of this perfection. Now the seventh result. One should understand the result of generosity in the ultimate and the conventional or relative level states. The ultimate result is that one achieves unsurpassable enlightenment. Just as before, how generous practice is described with very fine line. So if we can practice according to those, then our result will be complete enlightenment. The Bodhisattva Bhumi says, thus all the Bodhisattvas who fully perfect the practice of generosity will achieve the unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment. With the support of increase, perfect. No. In the this is the ultimate. Now, in the conventional state, one will gain prosperity through the practice of giving wealth, even one does not wish it. Even you don't wish I become rich or famous or anything. It just happens because you earn the cost. Furthermore, one can gather the trainees, Dharma practitioners, through the generosity and connect them with the enlightenment. The condensed profession of wisdom sutra says, the generosity of Bodhisattva cuts off rebirth as a hungry ghost. Likewise, poverty and all the afflicting emotions are cut off. By acting well, means by practicing generosity well, one will achieve infinite wealth well in the Bodhisattva's life, or even before you become Buddha, and fully mature all the suffering sentient beings through the practice of generosity. For example, look at the life story of Lord Jigten Songkun. He gathered hundreds and hundreds of thousands of disciples, and everyone has a place there because of the profession of the generosity. When you read the life story, they're meaningful to behold there, as well as the peacock and this lion reaper. Yeah. If you read those life stories, of describing of Jigten Songkun, everyone that enjoys there. There's a place to make offerings. There's a place to receive their needs. It's immense, Bodhisattva's Bhumi says one will become strong by giving food. If you give food, you will become strong physically and of course mentally. One will achieve good completion by giving clothes. If you give beautiful clothes, then you will become beautiful. One will become stable by giving conveniences. You give, say, horses, elephants, cars, those. One will have good eyesight by giving lamps. You make a lot of candle offerings. Maybe we don't need eyeglasses. By giving fearlessness, one will be unsaleable by obstacles and maras. If you give fearlessness to those people who are sick, those who are in danger of their life, because result will become no obstacles can create any hindrances to your Dharma practice. Anything you do. The precious jewel Galen says, by giving fearlessness to those who are in fear, one will unassailable by all maras. One will become supremely powerful. By giving Dharma teachings, one will meet the Buddha swiftly, because giving Dharma teachings is wisdom. So, see the Dharma, not necessarily see the face of Buddha outside, but you see the wisdom of Buddha. Will accompany him and achieve all one desire. Means Dharma is always your protection. When you have delusions, when you have difficulties, Dharma gives you wisdom, the eye of wisdom to see things clearly, how to comprehend the problems. The precious jewel Galen says, giving Dharma teachings to those who listen causes of creations to be dispelled, and one will accompany all the Buddhas. One will quickly achieve all that one desires. This is the 12th chapter dealing with the perfection of generosity from the JOL Ornament of Liberation, with the wish-fulfilling gem of the noble teachings.